Question 29. Are there words in the Quran originally Syriac? Answer. Some contemporary charlatans have tried to change the letters of some words in the Holy Quran to approximate them to Syriac words, then claim that these words have a Syriac origin. This is something that I still find surprising, and I do not understand what drives a person to such behavior. Then, as I detailed a little while ago, the Syriac language is not an original language, as the Syriacs do not know their language except by searching for the Arabic root of the word. The Syriacs only standardized their Syriac language by comparing it to the Arabic script. Jacob of Edessa, one of the greatest Syriac scholars in the 7th century AD, has admitted that Syriac has been forgotten. Syriac cannot be understood without returning to the Arabic linguistic root of the Syriac word, as admitted by Syriac scholar Metropolitan Clemens Joseph David of Mosul. The Syrians relied on the Arabic language to understand their own language. And all original Syriac dictionaries that the Syrians rely on do not explain the meanings of Syriac words except through their expression in Arabic, and the first Syriac dictionary for the Syriac language did not appear until 90 years after the death of Khalil ibn Ahmad al-Farahidi. The Syriacs needed a whole century after al-Khalil ibn Ahmad al-Farahidi's Kitab al-Ain in the Arabic language to compile their own dictionary, and it is astonishing the claims of such impostors who attribute some Arabic words to the Syriac language, that the linguistic root of these words does not exist in Syriac originally, but only in Arabic, and Syriac adopted it at a later stage from the Arabic language during the Syrians' development of their language. So how then does the Quran borrow these words from Syriac? And their root does not exist, except in Arabic, and the Syrians do not know the meanings of these words except by referring to the Arabic linguistic root. Their matter is strange. If Syriac as a whole is not an original language and is borrowed from Arabic, then how do they overturn history and truth? When Jacob of Edessa, who was the greatest Syriac scholar in the 7th century, could not vocalize Syriac letters until after Abu al-Aswad al-Du'ali completed his project of vocalizing Arabic letters. And when Abu al-Aswad al-Du'ali introduced the diacritical marks, Fatha, Kasra, and Dhamma, he established them based on how the Arabs pronounced the words, while Jacob of Edessa sat to speculate on what each word or letter might be or how it might appear, as the Syriac language, as well as other Semitic languages like Aramaic and Hebrew. All of them are derived from the Arabic language, and we do not say this because it is the language of the Quran, but because this is a reality recognized by those who have studied these languages, as many linguists affirm that the Arabic language is the original and genuine Semitic tongue. Karl Brockelman states in his book on Semitic philology that the Arabian Peninsula is the suitable place to be the original cradle of the Semites. In his book on comparative Assyrian grammar, the Assyrian language and its sciences professor at the University of Oxford, Archibald Henry Sayce, wrote an etymological report on the truth of the Arab origin of Semitic peoples, stating that the Arabian Peninsula is the original homeland of the Semites and the only region in the world that has remained purely Semitic. It is geographically evident that the continuous migration of Arab tribes and Bedouins throughout history towards the regions of Mesopotamia and Syria confirms that the Semitic origin is Arabic. And in the year 2012, the University of Oxford announced the formation of a scientific team led by Michael Petralia, director of the Center for Asian Archaeological Studies. The study explored the topography of the Arabian Peninsula, and the result, published in issue 21 of the Journal of Evolutionary Anthropology for the year 2012, was the discovery of an ancient network of river valleys and lake basins buried under the sands of the Arabian Peninsula. And this is one of the images produced by the scientific team of the river valleys in the Arabian Peninsula. The land of the Arabs and the Arabic language are the cradle and origin of the Semitic peoples, and the results reached by Michael Petralia's team remind us of the saying of the Prophet, peace be upon him, in Sahih Muslim. The hour will not come until wealth becomes abundant and overflowing, until a man goes out with his charity and finds no one to accept it from him, and until the land of Arabia returns to meadows and rivers. The saying of the Prophet, peace be upon him, until the land of Arabia returns to meadows and rivers, means that the land of Arabia was previously meadows and rivers, which is what this remarkable study has proven. The land of the Arabs was once the cradle of the Semitic languages and the cradle of the peoples of Mesopotamia and Syria. Therefore, the Arabic language was not mixed with the languages of non-Arab peoples, while other branches of migrants from the land of the Arabs moved towards the plains and river valleys. They mixed with other peoples, so their languages became a mix of the mother tongue they brought with them and the influences of other languages. Thus appeared Syriac, Aramaic, and Hebrew, while the Arabic language remained in the land of the Arabs, untouched by any blemish, says Ernest Renan. The Arabic language is the most unique phenomenon, as throughout history it appears to us with all its perfection, flexibility, and endless richness. It has been so perfect since its inception that it prompts us to say it has undergone no significant modification. Arabic has no childhood, nor does it have old age. I do not know if there is another language that came into existence like this language, without a primitive stage, transitional periods, or experiments groping for the way. It suffices to acknowledge the Syriac scholar and leader of the Syrians, Bishop Clemens Joseph David al-Masuli the Syriac, for recognizing the authenticity of the Arabic language when he stated verbatim that Arabic, by the acknowledgement of all scholars, is the noblest of the Semitic languages, the oldest and the richest. And its knowledge is essential for anyone who wants to master the understanding of all Semitic languages, especially Syriac. Thus, we conclude from the above that the Syriac language is a weak, altered language, and therefore it cannot easily generate words from its roots. While the Arabic language is the most complete language in the world in generating words from its roots. Add to that the fact that the Arabic language is the only language that encompasses the sounds of all its letters with the entire vocal apparatus and distributes their articulation across a wide range of its various components. From the lips to the deepest throat and larynx, Arabic has no equal in that among the Semitic languages, nor in any language of the world. The articulation of Arabic letters is astonishing, and this is one of the most remarkable features of the Arabic language. Meanwhile, the rest of the world's languages lack some letter sounds or merge them, and in some other languages, entire articulations have been lost with all their sounds and letters. For example, the letter th does not exist except in Arabic, and therefore the Arabic word Thor transformed in Assyrian to shore and was then adapted by Syriac, and they began to pronounce it. Syriac does not have the letter th at all, so when it adopted the word from Arabic, it pronounced it as Tor. The Arabic word dhaib transformed into the Assyrian zebu, and then the Syriacs adopted it and pronounced it as daba due to the absence of the letter thath in Syriac. Similarly, the letter dahoa no longer exists in any language except Arabic, so the original Arabic word dil became silu in Assyrian, while the Syrians adapted it and pronounced it as talalu. And the letter dad turned into ain in Syriac, and countless other words follow this pattern, and the letter ta, that original Arabic letter, became pronounced as dol in Syriac. Syriac is not just a language impoverished in root formation. It is also a language that lacks many articulation points for sounds, and even the letters themselves, with letters like noon and lam still posing a problem in Syriac. Sometimes noon is turned into ara, and vice versa, whereas these letters in Arabic are completely distinct. The letter gain no longer exists in all Semitic languages except for Arabic, which is the only one that still retains it. The letter gain is pronounced as ain in Syriac, so the Arabic word garb became Arab in Syriac, and it is pronounced the same in Hebrew as Arab. And the letter ka also does not exist in Syriac and is pronounced as ha, so the Arabic word ak is aha in Syriac and in Arabic. The word humar in Arabic is pronounced mara in Syriac. Due to the increased number of letters in the Arabic language, it has become the richest of the Semitic languages in roots and word origins, thanks to the increase in the number of its letters, the variety of its articulation points, and the distribution of these points across the entire vocal apparatus. Therefore, the number of word roots in the Arabic language reaches 12,000, while in Syriac and Hebrew it does not exceed 3,000 roots. Meanwhile, Syriac, Hebrew, and most other Semitic languages are limited to 1 or 2 derivations per root. We find that Arabic accommodates dozens of derivations from a single root, and the dual form is used correctly only in Arabic and preserved in Syriac only in 2 words from the numbers, which are 2 and 200. Moreover, Arabic is characterized as a language of inflection, where the function of the word in the sentence is determined by changing the vowels at the end of the word. Arabic retains the full system of declension, nominative, genitive, and accusative cases, while the declension markers have been lost from Aramaic, Syriac, and Hebrew, leaving only traces and remnants. Like the retention of the fatha in the form of an aleph at the ends of adverbs in Aramaic and Syriac, the method of inflection makes the word alive, not worn out over the centuries, nor does it lose its luster. It is truly astonishing that most words in Syriac and Hebrew are static and lack a root that conveys their meaning in their lexicons, while these roots and their derivatives with this meaning exist in Arabic. This means it is necessary to refer to Arabic to understand the origins from which the Syriac and Hebrew words are derived. Therefore, as I said, Syriac dictionaries do not translate the Syriac word except by referring it to the Arabic root of the word. So when a contemporary person attributes a Quranic word to Syriac, it is indeed strange. The deceitful atheist Christoph Luxemburg attempted to interpret the Quran in Syriac to attack Islam, claiming that many Quranic words are Syriac. With his shallow mind, limited knowledge, and cunning, he asserted that we would not understand the Quran without tracing many Quranic words back to the Syriac language. And strangely, a statement was issued by Luxemburg from the School of Oriental and African Studies at the University of London, known as SOAS. The statement was issued by linguist François de Blois, who said that the person named Christoph Luxemburg has no knowledge of ancient Semitic languages. He is merely a Lebanese Christian and not a Western researcher, as the name Christoph Luxemburg might suggest. Linguist François de Blois continues and says, lacking any real understanding of the method of comparative Semitic linguistics. François continues his statement, declaring that Luxemburg's project is not a scholarly work, but rather an undertaking of misguidance. As for Dr. Daniel King, a professor of Semitic studies at Cardiff University and an author of works explaining Syriac and analyzing its language, he has written an independent study on Luxemburg's project. The project is a series of largely disjointed conjectures for rereading some phrases of the Quran. Luxemburg, due to his lack of understanding, assumed that those who wrote the Quran made mistakes in placing dots on some letters, not knowing that every letter of the Quran is transmitted through continuous transmission. From the mouth of the Prophet, peace be upon him, to the memorizers in every generation until our modern era, transmitted orally and not through written texts. Luxemburg alleged this fabrication to reinterpret some Quranic words, and he tries to bring them closer to the Syriac language. And it's astonishing that Luxemburg does not stop at this nonsense, but also tampers with the Syriac language itself and the meanings of its words to align them with the Quranic words. As we will see in the examples we will mention shortly, God willing, does Luxemburg not know that every letter in the Quran is transmitted in its pronunciation by continuity from the mouth of the Prophet, peace be upon him, in every generation throughout the history of the nation? Has Luxemburg not heard about obtaining certification in memorizing the Quran? Doesn't Luxemburg know that Syriac is a developed language derived from Arabic and that its words are static? And Syriacs do not understand their language until they trace the Syriac word back to its Arabic root? Doesn't Luxemburg know that Syriac is a poor language? Doesn't Luxemburg know that Syriac does not have the letters Thanoa Sheikh, Kishker, Deo, W, D, D, or GH? Does Luxemburg not know that there is no complete grammatical inflection in the languages of the world except in Arabic, and it exists in a primitive form in modern German? Does Luxemburg not know that Arabic is the mother of Semitic languages? To whom do we say these words? The fire of envy burns their hearts, and jealousy consumes them over the Quran because it is preserved. It is revelation in hearts, recited in sanctuaries, and continuously spoken, while their language entered museums and became artifacts we see on school trips among mummies. We will now take two examples of Luxemburg's ridiculous revisionist project. First, Luxemburg says that the word Qur'an is taken from Syriac, and the strange thing is that the word Qur'an is in the pattern of falan, which does not even exist in the Syriac language originally. Then the word Qur'an comes from the linguistic root qura, read, which is a purely original Arabic root and does not exist in Syriac. This root is only present in Arabic, as Amr ibn Kulthum says in his Mu'allakha. The color was mixed and not red, and in Syriac there is only the root kara, which in the Syriac dictionary means shouting, like the crowing of a rooster. And surprisingly, the Orientalist who is biased against Islam, Theodor Noeldeke, admits that the Syriac word Qur'an, which Luxemburg thought to be the origin of the Arabic word Qur'an, did not exist in ancient Syriac according to Theodor Noeldeke. Secondly, another example presented by Luxemburg in his project is the word Hawaya in the verse of Allah, and from cattle and sheep we prohibited their fat except what their backs carry, or the Hawaya. Luxemburg considered that this word al-Hawaya is originally Syriac, and that it has no meaning in the Arabic language. Any Arabic speaker proficient in Arabic knows very well that the word al-Hawaya is a genuine and correct Arabic word, and it has an original Arabic root, which is Hawiye, Hawa, Yahweh, al-Hawaya. We say al-Hawiya for cars that carry luggage, so it is an authentic Arabic word. However, Luxemburg does not even know the language of the Arabs, as Ibn Faris says in Maqais al-Lugha. The ha, wa, and the following vowel are a single root, which means gathering. I collected something when I gathered it, and Hawaye is singular of Hawaya, meaning intestines. Interestingly, the word Luxemburg borrowed from Syriac to compare to Hawaya is the word Gawi, pronounced in Syriac as Gawi, but he claimed it is pronounced Jawaya so that the reader would think it is Hawaya. And unfortunately, this misleading method is widespread among Orientalists. More importantly, the word Jawaya in Syriac means inside. The same Syriac word appeared in the Gospel of Matthew meaning inside. So which is more accurate, language, unless their appearance or the inside? Or unless what their appearance or the innards hold? The content what the stomach contains, which is more accurate in language. And what's truly surprising is that the word Jawi in Syriac is a static word without a root, while it is an original word in Arabic. These are simple examples showing the nature of Luxemburg's project and its likes.